DJ Bad Girls, how are you? So y'all from the same town, huh?
I mean, only the sexiest from the same town.
Let's
Let's be for real though.
Tell the truth and
Let's tell
shame
the
the
truth.
devil.
That's more than corn in Indiana, baby.
That's right. That's correct.
For real, from the 219, everybody in the 219, welcome, ma'am. You're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's a blessing. I always think it's a blessing. Anyone that comes in here and blesses our station, and I really do appreciate that so much, really. And just coming from the same, the 219 area, as you know, it's just a small place. You have to really leave your element to become, to fly. And I feel like that's what we do have in common, just in that little bit of time we spoke. And that to me is so inspiring. So thank you so much for that. And also being females too, we have a lot stacked up against us that we have to prove ourselves. Like you said, you were told, not to sing, you'll go to hell, and I was told I would never have a radio station because I'm just a cute face on the air. I don't have the knowledge or the go-to. And the guy that said that, he's out of business now. So.
That he is.
So really, honestly, if you could tell me, like, when those naysayers told you that, how did you feel? Was that just like a driving motivation for you? Because I feel like that totally drove me to like the next level to prove that for myself.
Well, there was one instance that I remember that really drove me to do it and to prove myself. One of the Holland brothers, when I was writing, I took my songs over to them. I was doing sessions in the studio with people, and I ran into them and I said, "Can I please play you something?" I said, we're going to be in the studio tomorrow. I'd like to bring you my cassette tape and you can hear.
Right.
So they listened to my songs, and one of the songs I played was "That's What Friends Are For."
Oh, wow.
And they said, "Oh, that song will never make it. You'll never have any success with that song because you started 4/4 and then you switched up to 3/4 and all that kind of stuff." And then when "That's What Friends Are For" was #1 in the UK for about 5 weeks, it stayed at #1 in the UK. And the next time I saw him, I said, "Not gonna work, huh?" And but it was really great we have to have that determination because we have so many naysayers telling you what you can and can't do, especially as a black woman. They're telling you what you can and can't do.
Right.
And my motivation was that I married my high school sweetheart and I have 2 sons. I had to feed my babies. I couldn't listen to them.
I feel that too.
I had to feed these children, and it was like, no, this is what God gave me.
Right.
And, even though I'm scared to use it and most of the time didn't want to use it,
Right.
this is what God gave me. He said he gives us all the power to get wealth.
That's
and
right.
I said, so he gave me, this is my power and this is my way to wealth. And so, there were a lot of people that said I would never make it.
Wow,
a lot of
really?
people that, I don't even want to name names because it's inconsequential now.
That's right. They're insignificant now.
It's insignificant. So you understand that coming from that same area of the way we were brought up, that we weren't encouraged to be successful, but honey, here we are.
That's right. And I have one of the biggest platforms in the world.
That's right.
And I thought, I started off thanks to Bruce Commander Gyrl gave me my start. And to be honest with you, I wasn't even gonna pursue radio. And mine, mine takes like a little. I should give like just a little something. Mine was gonna take a tragic turn for the worse. Because my dad had passed away at that time, and he didn't know this. And he actually saved my life. And radio saved my life. So had I not done radio, I probably would not be here right now.
Well,
that was the
God
plan.
knows.
That was the plan.
That was his plan for you.
Yeah. Because it was like days away, but people didn't know that because you don't know when someone's going through something and whatnot. And he had no idea, but when he gave me the opportunity to speak, that was the day that it was going to happen.
That's right. That was the beginning.
It was the beginning. So I saw myself like, look, I almost took myself out, but instead he gave me the power to now have the freedom to speak. And all of that grieving turned into something else.
That's right.
And it became a testimony, and I said, wow, you know, I can't believe that could have happened. That wasn't even my road, radio. And then I thought, well, if this changed my life and gave me solace in such a depressed time, such a sad time, you know, I had just lost a parent. I didn't know how to deal with that.
Yes.
And then, you know, he was calling me like, hey, you know, come here. I was like, man, he don't even know. Like, this is going to be the last day, you know. And then I just turned it around and I said, you know what, to honor my father, to honor the people, and for those that always, you know, the naysayers, I'm actually going to build my own empire and make my parents proud and my family proud and where I'm from proud, just because I was the little person in the group. You know, I was the nerd, the one that they didn't think would succeed. So that's why I'm still here 12 years later in the game. And just to give the platform to someone like you. And I feel like it's teamwork makes the dream work. Like you said, if we go back to Indiana and rebuild, that's just what we're here for. You have a power, I have a power.
That's right.
But a lot of people don't go back to where they're from, you know? And I always said I would love to do that just because to show that you could come from nothing and be something.
That's right.
Truthfully.
That's right. You know, God has a plan. I wasn't going to sing. I wanted to be a nurse, you know.
Right.
I was first black candy striper at a hospital in Chicago where my mom worked. And, you know, I liked being in the hospital and the fact of helping people. So I never ever looked at having a career in as a singer, you know, songwriter. It was definitely, I was going to be a nurse, but, you know, they say all the time, you know, we have plans and God laughs at our plans because He has other plans. And I'm grateful that He gave both of us the gifts and the talents that we have, because now we can use them, and we use them now to help other people.
Absolutely. And I think, like you said, I think music is just the channel that God works through.
That's
for people to see you. And I feel like entertainment and God works through me in this way, but it's so much bigger than me. I just thought if I could give people the voice to speak to anyone all over the world, it's bigger than entertainment, it's bigger than the singing, the music, it's bigger than me. This is the avenue that God gave me. And He gave me the confidence and the know-how to say, okay, this is the lane I have to go through. Yes. And now when you make it, it's like help other people, just like He helped me, you know? So I think it's just a hand-in-hand thing, so I love that. So it's so inspiring.
We pass the torch, you know, I look at it, you know, Stevie Wonder was my mentor. He was, you know, a part of my life when I joined him as a background singer. Look at all the people that helped me along my way. I just lost someone special to me. Roberta Flack was incredible to me. You know, when I left Stevie as a background singer, I joined Roberta Flack. It was me, my other friend, and Stevie, Lonnie Groves, and Patty Austin. We were Roberta Flack's three background singers. And Roberta taught me how the people in back of you are just as important as you. Absolutely. You know, because she showed me that. She treated us so well. The girls, you know, when I first joined her, I was going to the band with the boys, with the guys in the band, and she told us, she said, no, you guys ride in the limousine with me. And she taught me that everybody on that stage is important and everybody makes it work. It's all teamwork, as we're seeing here today with, you know, everybody. It's a team effort to make it a success. And seeing that, I have longed to pass that on to other people that have worked with me. Now it's funny because I have 3 people that worked with me, 3 secretaries, and they all went on to do great things. I have one secretary, she got the audacity to have 8 Emmys. She has her own soap opera now called The Gates on CBS. You know, I went out to dinner with her and I said, I got 4 Emmys, and what do you have, 5 Emmys? She said, 8. I said, 8! We have another secretary that is working in television as a producer. You know, so many people that have worked with me, and I don't say under, but side by side. You know, it is our job to lift people up and to bring them along, and you know, and I mean, they're successful, but I feel like their success is my success.
Absolutely.
You know, so
Absolutely.
that's what we do, and I'm so excited to work with you
Thank
and
you so much. Me
rebuilding
too.
our hometown. Cause girl,
For
we
sure.
get ready to hit them and hit them
Hit
hard.
'em hard with the 2-piece, no chicken. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just because I feel like, you know, and that's just the start. I feel like if we get more people on board that have the voices that are powerful,
That's right.
that is like their due diligence.
That's right.
Because people want to just believe. And you know, when people say, oh, you can do it, that cliche, it's until you see your own people do it.
That's
You
right.
shake hands, you're like, wow,
That's
I knew
it.
that girl, that nerdy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
me.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
That's right. I knew that little girl when she was
Yeah.
singing in church. I heard her.
Exactly.
You know, and so
That's what gives people the inspiration. I always tell people, I'm not their boss, I'm their leader. Because
Yes.
leader builds leader.
that's right.
And that's only
That's
as
right.
good as your leader.
That's right.
That's why I say I don't want to be the best on the stage, and I don't want to be the most talented. I want everyone to surpass me. So I like
That's
do my
right.
job, you know?
That's
That's
right.
really what I
That's
feel
right. I'm like that. Go further, honey.
Right.
Do what? Do
Right.
things I didn't even do.
like.
You know,
Exactly.
so go and do it, and it's all good.
I
you
feel
know.
the same way.
It's all good, and I'm grateful to God that He gave me and He gave you
For sure.
that kind of heart.
Yes.
Because we know a lot of people that don't have
Oh,
that
no,
heart.
they don't.
You know,
And they go
Yeah.
they operate from ego. I know a lot of people say, you know, when I came in here, I don't introduce myself like CEO. I don't do that. I
Mhm.
stay in the background
Yeah.
because I try to blend in.
yeah,
Just because
she was hiding, y'all.
You know, I was hiding.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm always humble because God could take it away at any time.
That's right.
And
you
I
can.
also feel like I don't walk in like that. I
No.
just like to blend in just because no one wants to work with nobody with an ego.
That's
they want
right.
to work with someone from a humble beginning because you can always build from that. You can't
Yes.
build when someone's up here
Yes.
and they feel that way because they're
Yes.
not willing to share.
Yes.
And I feel a lot of the people in the industry that I've come across,
Mhm.
a good 50%, they're all just like, well, you're the CEO, you should say that. I said, that don't matter because unless we're changing lives, none of that matters.
It doesn't mean anything.
None of it. It don't matter
doesn't.
what we're doing. It
That's
could be
right.
7-8 figures. All of that is dead end if you're not inspiring people to do more.
That's right.
Do better, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what would be wonderful to collaborate and go and inspire people and change because it always takes that seed to
Yes.
make that plant, you know.
That's right. It
So-
starts with a seed.
It does. It definitely does. So, like, my question for you is, what would you tell those younger folks, like how we felt? What can we tell them, like, at that college age or teenage? What would you say, like, you know, to inspire them to, like, keep going? What would you say is, like, something they need? What do they need to, like, make it?
I think they need to have a dream
For sure.
for their life.
For sure.
And once you have a dream, you need to follow that.
Yeah.
You need to do whatever it takes for you to accomplish that dream.
For sure.
And know and believe that God put that dream in your heart.
Yes.
You know, God put a dream in my heart that I could accomplish things. Now, my whole thing for wanting to accomplish was my babies.
Oh, see,
You
me
know,
too.
because I got off in the airplane in LA with a 14-month-old, a 2-month-old, and $20 in my pocket.
Ooh.
Wow.
And I looked up to heaven and I said, God, this has got to work. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I went and I got my job with Stevie. And from there, it
That's
worked.
so
But,
cool.
you know, God showed me where He had given me this voice for a reason. Because I was saying, I don't
Oh,
want to go
yeah.
there. He said, listen. He said, I need a light in a dark place. Go.
For sure.
So once that, then it was the steps. We need to take steps. Understand your dream, understand your goals. Get the education,
Right.
the knowledge that you need to pursue your goals. If it's in music, then you need to learn about the music industry.
That's
I taught
right.
at Howard University, Morgan State
Wow.
University,
Amazing.
Indiana University, Ball State Music University, and I taught the business of music. I
Wow.
wanted them to understand that the music industry is that. It's a multi-billion-dollar business.
Sure
You better
is.
go out there and get yours. groups. You know, when I heard people
Yeah.
like TLC talking about how they had nothing and they were the largest female group in the world. How do you
Yeah.
do that and have nothing? And so we have to look at what you want to do and get a plan, get wisdom about the area that you want to be in,
That's true.
and go out and once you have a vision, then you need a plan of how you get to your vision. That's what I encourage people to do. Have a plan about your vision and the steps it's going to take for you to make the vision a reality.